great. Chubbing up. Bam. We're live. Well, house cleaning here first. John Young, Brian Friend. Oh, John, let me fix what's your Instagram, Johnny?
Young Guns 90.
Young Guns 90. Is that a capital 9, capital 0?
What?
Yes, sir.
They're numbers.
Right. Look at Brian showing off that he can listen. Is that right?
Yep.
Heidi, what's up,
Hey,
girl?
if you guys can hear music or weights and they're too loud, just let me know.
Would you go into the gym and just be like, yo, shut the fuck up. The Sevan podcast is going on. No?
I would not do that, but if that happens, I might have to get off of here.
You just mute that shit. Where the hell is Matt? Someone ask Matt where he's at. Listen, I listened to a few minutes ago. I listened to the Morning Chalk Up podcast with Brian Friend, Derek Forrest, Patrick Clark, and the host and always in control, Miss
Lauren Khalil.
Thank you, Lauren Khalil. And Derek Forrest says something in there that just, wow. I don't know. I understand why I'm not this good. I mean, I understand why I'm not this good. He said, hey, Ricky's coming back and he's got something to prove. This dude's going to win it. And you know what? I'm on that. Derek sold me on that. And not only that, I'm going to tell you this, people. Listen carefully, all 6 of you. When Ricky wins this, there becomes an immediate question mark to Matt Fraser's last win at the CrossFit Games and the win before that. Because when he goes to if he wins this, that means there's a good chance he's going to beat up on Justin Medeiros at the CrossFit Games. And then we're going to know something. Something's going to get into our brain, a sickness. And I'm telling you, it's real. It's real. You think, oh, it's funny. They'll never fucking lock down the country. They'll never force injections. They will, and Ricky Garard will. If he wins, put that doubt in your head. He's going to do it. If he wins. If he loses, well, I'll be like, yeah, this motherfucker can't do shit unless he's juiced up. But if he wins Dubai, then we're going to start freaking out about the games. And if he wins the games, it's going to put a fucking ding in Fraser's legacy. Period.
Who was at Dubai that
And thank you, Derek, and thank you, Morning Chalk Up, and thank you, Brian Friend, and thanks, Miss Lawson. What's her name? Emily Lawson? Who's the girl? Who's the girl who hosts that show?
Lauren Khalil.
That's what I said, Lauren Khalil. Go ahead, Mr. Young. The floor is yours.
I disagree with your sentiments.
I disagree with it
because if he wins, he beat Roman and Jeff. Those are me and Brian's top 3. And Lazar. None of those people have beaten Fraser, have beaten Vellner, have beaten Medeiros. And those are the people that were ahead of Ricky before.
I agree, but I'm telling you, it puts a crack in the dam. And then if he wins the games, then the conversation's in full swing.
It'll make 2022 fun, that's for sure.
I'm sorry?
I said it'll make 2022 fun, that's for sure, the games.
Yeah. I mean, if he wins the games, we'll be talking about it if he's better than Fraser. Yeah. Whoever wins the games next year, the conversation begins. The conversation will always be there. Is he better than Fraser? Is he better than Froning? Is he better than OPT? Anyone who's won the games. But I'm just telling you, it'll be weirder because it's Ricky and because he wasn't there to test Matt. Because they wouldn't let him compete. Let's not forget that either. They have rules that say if you cheat once, if you don't follow these rules, you can't compete the next 3 years. They wouldn't let him compete. He would have come back the next year, I'm sure. Just saying. I'm not a Skip Bales. You don't even know what I am. I don't know what I am. Don't tell me I'm something. He wouldn't let him compete. He would have come back the next year, I'm sure. That's yeah.
I'm not a Skip Bales.
I just fucked Sousa. I just brought him on and he's watching it on YouTube and we got an echo. One more, Brian. Are you crunched for time? I mean, I know John's already like making rules about whether he can stay or not stay based on the sound of barbells. What kind of rules do you have on this show?
Well, we'll just try to get through it.
Right. Then that being said, since you're not going to be aggressive about it and draw boundaries, I'd like to read some comments from the last podcast we did together. I love Brian. What? But what is this comment? This one's new. I haven't seen this. I love Brian, but he looks over the show. Besides, am I the only one that finds the long call-ins annoying? Long Collins, did someone? No, shut it. Not that one. I really hope Brian doesn't leave this podcast. It would be the worst. So this guy tunes in, but if you weren't here, Brian, this would be the worst. This would be like getting his anus fingered. So I mean, that's what when I think of the worst, that's immediately when my brain goes. Let's go down here. Is this the last show with Brian? It seems it's going that way. Okay, fair. I mean. Is that? Do you know this guy, Arjun Martins, Brian? Is that?
No, but he's listening right now.
How do you know? Do you see him over in the? Oh yeah, there he is. Unfortunately, it seems Brian's hatred of Sevan grows more and more each show he does, which is a shame. As Sevan is a good dude. Yeah, Brian, asshole. Okay, what else? Sorry. And then it says he is one step ahead, though, grooming the young replacement. That's the weird thing. Let me throw a little twist on it. I'm not grooming John to replace Brian. Brian's grooming John to replace Brian. I'm telling you guys, there's some really weird shit going on behind the scenes. But I'm glad you guys are sniffing it out, you morons. My mom told me I shouldn't yell at the listeners, but I can't help it.
I love the speculation, though.
And Tom, if you know so much about God, I saw your comment the other day too. Why don't you just fucking email me over a 1-page fucking document on how I can find God? Because I can send you over a 2-sentence document. Okay, let's do this. Dubai. Hey, do you want me to pull down my shared screen, Susan, so you can do this? Okay. What's up, guys? You guys excited?
Yeah, it's getting pretty close now.
Yeah.
I think 15 hours or something like that.
No, it starts tonight.
Oh, sorry, that's until local time. So
The
5
first
hours?
event's at 8:45.
Oh, shit. So it's not tomorrow morning at 6 a.m.
No, that's event 2. Or not event
Okay.
2. That's the liftoff starts tomorrow at 6.
Okay, get us up to speed. So the last bit of information that I got from yesterday is that the event starts. I was going to get up at 6 or like 5:30 Pacific Standard Time, make a cup of coffee, and start watching at 6. Tell me, when do I need to get up? When do I need to have the TV on?
That will be event 3. So event 1 is at 8:45 tonight on YouTube. I believe it's on
8:45.
YouTube. And then event 2 is at 10.
John, what time zone are you referring to?
Yeah. Central time zone. So it would be 6:45 for Pacific, Sevan.
Thank you. Look at that. See the grooming? See what I'm saying? I'm not grooming John. Brian's grooming John. Okay. And that's and
So
do we know
on,
is that
on
in
the
the
morning talk up somewhere? Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead. Maybe Matt will pull it up. Tell us where you're looking and Susan will pull it up.
On the morning chalk up, there's how to watch Dubai CrossFit Championship, and it has the full schedule that we know of for all the events. I think hold on, let me go up here. It's by Patrick Clark, December 13th, 2021. And it has Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then it shows in Central Time the time that it's going to be on YouTube.
And what is Central? Central's 2 hours ahead?
All of Friday.
Okay.
2 hours ahead of Pacific, yeah.
Okay,
however,
go ahead, Brian. Sorry, go ahead.
The first 2 events are not going to be broadcast live.
They're
also not open to they're not going to be broadcast live, and they're also not open to the public there, the people who bought tickets. So that'll happen at the Ski Dubai. There'll be cameras there filming, and then there'll be some kind of post-production to recap those 2 events.
And will that post-production be live?
Will the post-production be live? I don't know.
Okay, go ahead, John. Is there somewhere we can watch on Instagram? Someone will be Instagram living it from the Dubai account.
Can y'all hear me? Because my screen went off.
Yeah, we can hear you. This is the best way to work with you.
All right. It says somewhere on Instagram that they will be streaming on Instagram at 6:45 Gulf Shore time or Gulf Coast time. I don't know which event that was, Brian, though. Do you? Because is that the first two events, we'll be able to, because that correlates with the timing as far as what it says on Morning Talk.
That's right. Yeah, they made that announcement that at 6:45 in the morning there, which is 6:45 in California tonight or 8:45 Central Time. If you want to watch, you have to check in with their Instagram. But yes, it's also possible that there could be someone streaming it on their Instagram, like an athlete's coach or partner or someone like that. Sometimes that happens. But I think if you want to see anything live, Dubai's Instagram is the best place to go tonight.
Dubai CrossFit Championship on Instagram.
And if I'm going to go ahead and put that up, and then Matt, sorry, can you send an invoice over to the Crown Prince for about $50,000 because for that little graphic I just put up? Thank you. We'll put this up periodically. DXB Fitness Champ, all one word, at DXB Fitness Champ tonight, 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 9:45 on the East Coast. You guys got to do the shit in the middle, and we'll get the events underway. Is everyone we talked about yesterday still in the game? Is Sarah still in the game?
Yeah, Sarah actually posted today that she officially was cleared to compete. As of today, she checked in. She's ready to go, and she's excited about it. The only update that I know to the athlete roster is that Uldis Upanex has withdrawn. He had an issue with travel and the COVID testing protocols, so unfortunately not able to make it. So we're down to 19 on both the men's and women's side.
And he wasn't in your guys' top 10, right?
No, maybe not, but pretty close.
Was he a threat to win any of the events?
Yeah, maybe a couple. This first event possibly, or event two. Other than that, no. I guess not, because I don't think he's beaten Roman or Ricky. So never mind.
Can we go back to looking at that first event? Let's do that. Let's look at that first event. Are you guys disappointed we're not going to get to see it live? Is this like a bummer, or is this just you guys seem to just be taking it in stride? Are you guys pissed or?
No, I'm not upset about that at all. I was actually privy to some of the conversations when making that decision, and I think that a lot of times competitions actually try to cover offsite events when they're not really prepared to their own detriment. And then the coverage ends up being really bad or spotty or less than, people are hoping for or expecting. And that this is a way to make sure that when the coverage of these two events comes out, that it's something that's actually something they're proud of. And that's something people who are tuning into can watch something meaningful in maybe maybe it takes 20 or 30 minutes to watch the entire two events. But so I'm okay. I'm definitely okay with it.
I'm not.
Yeah, I'm fine with it too. But I do hope that we are able to see the full event too, because if event two is just a run up the mountain with a weight vest on, who's the fastest, and I think those races are always exciting. So I don't care how I see it. I don't care if it's delayed. I just hope we're able to see the entire event two at some point.
Okay, give me 1 second. So I want to, and the reason why I'm disappointed is because I really want to cover this and I want to see it and I want to see it in real time. And I like real time shows and I like real time sports. And I'm hoping that on Instagram we'll get some of that. So this is 5 rounds, 500-meter run. Why does it say ski?
500-meter ski. 500-meter ski, and then you run up the hill and down the ski hill and down the ski hill.
And is that 500-meter on a ski erg? I'm just.
Yes.
Okay.
That could be confusing to some.
Okay.
Yeah. I think they posted someone using a ski erg at the Ski Dubai testing the workout, a picture of it. I can't remember exactly where it was. Someone sent it to me, but it should be 500-meter ski erg, and then you're going to run up the hill, and there'll be a turnaround point, and you run back down the hill. It's not listed the exact distances, but based on the time cap And the testing of the event, it's around 200 meters up and then 200 meters back down each time you have to run.
So bigger than Mater Hill. Significant.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
and
much more difficult terrain.
It's in snow, right? Artificial snow.
Correct.
And what will they be wearing, Brian?
So similar to sand, but cold.
They'll have a choice of apparel. I was told that the guy who tested this event wore On Cloud running shoes.
That's a brand?
Yeah, and probably not advisable. It just seems like your feet would get wet pretty quick. So hopefully they have some kind of waterproof shoe to run in.
What's the CrossFit Games shoe brand?
Noble.
Do they get behind this, or do they dress these guys?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. My mom has those shoes.
Yeah, they've actually become quite popular. More and more people at the gym I coach at have had them over the past 6 to 12 months.
Yeah. Do you remember Reebok had a shoe? It's like, and on the bottom they had a commercial, and it was like your friends are on the bottom. They had like an animation. Do you remember that shoe? It was like a couple years into the CrossFit relationship. They're like, and they named these characters that lived on the bottom of your shoes, and that was the grips. Like they personified the soul of the shoe. That's what those On Cloud ones look like. It didn't work for Reebok. I guess it's working for On Cloud though.
Maybe.
Hobart sent me a case of this. I think he got it at Walmart and sent me a case. This was a while back. Thank you, Hobart. Sparkling water. Okay, so who's gonna win this one? Who are we just watching Sarah's knee? Let's start with the women. Are we just watching Sarah's knee on this on the downhill? We're just like, okay, just survive this, Sarah. Just survive this.
Yeah, I think for sure that's something that she'll be thinking about, is just making sure that she gets down the hill safely. I think for the ski and the running up the hill, she'll be fine. In fact, running uphill generally puts people in proper running alignment to begin with. But the downhill, she should be a little cautious. Yeah.
This show is brought to you by barbelljobs.com, not Wad Zombie. Wad Zombie just donates money for free. Barbell Jobs actually gives us a significant amount of cash. Okay. And do you have a pick? Is this Kristen Holta? Is she going to win this?
This on the women's side, I think that there are 5 women who could win this event, and I would say they are in no particular order: Emily Rolfe, Kristen Holta, Sam Briggs, Michaela Norman, and Laura Horvat.
Wow, that's right.
I'm calling Laura. I just have one name, and that's Laura Horvat.
And are we all choosing Laura because we know she can make the ski erg move and we know she can run?
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm just saying, don't count out Emily Rolfe on these first 2 events, John. She's got 2 event wins in similar style events.
The second event, 100%, I'm with you. But she cannot move a ski the way Gabby and Laura can move a ski. Like, she's very average when it comes to those things. She's an amazing runner. So
I know that you're low on Rolfe and Lazar Jukic on this event because of their skiing performance at Rogue. I think that both of them, as good as they are, that's something that we're going to see that they've improved on since then.
And they should improve on that. But from 3 months ago, I don't think they will just magically be the best at skiing. So as far as winning the event, that's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, Lazar is probably conditioned enough to be top 3 in this event, and I think he'll be like 6, even though he's conditioned enough to be 3. That's still, needs to improve more on skiing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Same thing with Emily. Now, event 2, for sure. I think she's right in it.
Are you picking Lazar to win this?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm picking Roman to win both events, 1A and 1B for the men.
I'm picking Lazar for the first one.
I do think Ricky has a shot on event 1. I think it's just going to be a battle between him and Roman. Honestly, the first 2 events for sure. It's just going to be him and Roman.
Are there any athletic events in this?
Athletic events?
Yeah, like where a real athlete can shine. Are there any events like the obstacle course? Like, because Ricky is a real athlete. He's not just a CrossFitter. He can the guy can move. He can do stuff. Like Vellner. Look at that. That's just me manipulating Brian. You see how I said that just to like soften Brian up, let him know I'm willing to try to get him into the conversation.
Go ahead, John.
I kind of think the muscle up thruster one is more of an athletic workout. I know it's highly skill based, but heavier thrusters mixed with muscle ups, generally the better athletes will do well in those types.
So there's no obstacle course at the Dubai CrossFit Championship.
No, there's no obstacle course. If that's what you're asking. There's no obstacle course.
No biking?
There's calories on an echo bike.
Right.
But
All
no,
right.
there's these two events at the ski slope, and then everything else is going to take place in the tennis stadium where they usually have majority of their competition. And it'll look, and that part of the competition will look very similar to a regionals, something like that.
And sorry if you guys went over this. How far is this full slope run?
Well, the full slope run, it's not an exact distance, but around 700 or 800 meters is my guess based on the time cap and some conversations I've had.
And how much time in between event 1 and A and 1B?
What is it? What did the schedule say?
So the schedules are 8:45 and 10:22 Central Time. So not much. 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
Yeah, so one of the things that I think they're trying to do here is they're trying to condense the day down into as small of a time frame as they can, like the entire day of competition. So they'll have to do 4 heats of the first workout, which will take just over an hour. There'll have to be some transition between heats, of course. So maybe an hour and 20, hour and 30 minutes for that, and then they'll probably just roll straight into 1B.
Event 2. Yeah.
Hey, so 700 meters for event 1B. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, about that.
So that's we're gonna see Luca. We're gonna see Luca shine.
Yeah,
If he does,
he should do great on that. Yeah, I think he'll do well on both of these events.
And these guys are gonna push Roman. Like, this is a strong group. Didn't Lazar win one of the running
those
events?
Yes.
Didn't Lazar
won the running toes to bar event at the games? That's what you're thinking of, yes.
And then there was another event another running event that he did well at too, wasn't there? That he kind of shit the bed on at the end. No, was it the clean ladder?
Are you talking about the 500 meter run?
I don't remember. Basically, what I'm trying to imply here is that this is going to be a good test for us to see Roman with some of the game's best in the running category.
Yeah, and not even that. I mean, Elliot Simmons is generally good on running workouts. So, like, there's some kind of, that straight run up the hill in a weight vest for that time domain of like 3 to 5 minutes is, a little bit unknown. It's if you don't get your
it's not as
footing
much
right.
cardio. It's not as much cardio like you're talking, Sevan. It's more of just who can deal with the most pain. Because Elliot Simmons is an amazing runner. Last time he was at Dubai, he beat Fikowski, he beat Roman, he beat Lazar. I'm pretty sure Lazar was there, and I don't think he will beat them on these ones because you're running uphill. It's more about pain in your legs than cardio.
And once again, they'll be running on the snow.
Seems like it.
Man, we might see an epic wipeout coming down on event 1B, huh?
How do you know how steep it is, Brian?
I've seen it. It's steep.
I think it's about 20 degrees, 20 grade.
Is it very similar to the one in Aromas?
Well, I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Just from eyeballing them, I don't think it was as steep as Aromas. I poked my head in that whatever this thing is called, in this mall ski thing before, and I poked my head in Aromas a few times, and I think Aromas is steeper. But I think this is going to be way harder. I think it's going to be really cold in there, and that's going to affect their lungs and their breathing. I think going up is going to be really weird, and I don't think there's anything stopping them on the way down except fear. That's it. I think you can just fucking pull the pin and let the wheels just come off the bus. You think we're going to see walking on this event 1B on the way up?
Possibly.
Yeah, I think we're going to. It's going to be weird.
200 meters is a long.
The other thing is, like,
no, it's 350. It's 350 up, right? And 350 down.
No,
Isn't it
it's
7?
700 straight up.
Oh shit. The whole thing is 1400 or no?
No, the event 1B starts at the bottom and ends at the top, I think.
Oh, let me see that again. Let me see one
Yeah.
more time.
1A, they're not running as far.
Do they ever run down on 1A? Do they run up and down?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. That's
it's
too bad.
200
Event B
meters,
is not
right,
gonna be like
Brian?
that.
Oh, yeah, about.
Okay, so we're going to see definitely walking on 1B for sure. 100%. 100%.
You know, presumably the ski slope is not just straight up the entire way. Like there's probably some little undulations and stuff. And so maybe there'll be a part that's a little bit steeper. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
1A
surprised
is
if
more
it-
cardio, and then 1B is just pain.
Do they get to test the slope before the event?
I would be surprised if they didn't at least get to go on it and like practice running up and down at once. I mean, just from a safety perspective, I think they'd have to do that. But I don't think they've done that yet. I think if that's going to happen, it'll be in the morning before the event starts.
Okay. Do they have rules and stuff there? Can they do as much social media and as much like do they have rules around media there, the athletes?
I don't know.
Be interesting to reach out and get pictures and shit like that. And will their coaches be there? What coaches are there, Brian? Do we know?
Yeah.
Is Sarah's coach there?
Yeah, Max is there. He's coaching Sarah. He's coaching Ricky. He's coaching, I think, Sam Stewart, maybe. And then all the athletes' coaches are there.
Wait, El Haj is coaching Ricky Garard?
No, sorry. He's coaching
Kotler.
Sarah and Sam. Kotler is coaching Tola and Ricky. Justin
And-
Kotler.
Okay, is that Danielle Brandon's?
Daniel Brandon, Carrie Pierce, Bethany Shabburn. Yeah.
Wow, that guy's
Well,
got
not
a
Carrie
huge
Pierce
stable
anymore.
of athletes.
Okay. But he was coaching this past season.
I don't think you can say anyone retires until after the Open comes and goes. Like, I'm not willing to bet Scott Panchik's done. He did too good. He performed too well last year, even busted up.
But John Singleton's there. The program's got at least 3. I think they have 3 women competing. So, you know, some of the big coaches are there.
He used to be Sarah's coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any awkwardness between him and Max then, if they like run into each other?
I doubt it.
That John Singleton dude's pretty cool.
He's been around a long time.
Yeah, he's pretty mellow. I mean, Max is pretty cool too. He's easy, but John, I've seen John around forever. Actually, maybe I've seen Max around for forever too. They're chill. They should be chill. Okay, so basically for event 1, you guys are going with Roman, smart bet for event 1, A and B, and for the women's side, you guys are going for, not going for, but putting your money on.
I
he's
think
got
I
Laura.
might have, do I have Laura at 1B?
No, you picked Laura for 1A.
Yeah, I think I'm going to roll a Halty for 1B.
Okay, I'll go with. You know what?
You pick Sam Briggs?
Briggs for the first one, Rolf for the second one.
Wow.
Okay.
But I do think that there are legitimately 5 women that could win one of those events or both of those events.
Yeah, and I agree too. They're all going to be right there together, and then for the men, there's going to be Roman and Ricky are going to be right there together, and then possibly Lazar as well for both events.
Sousa,
Luca.
could you cross-reference this guy's name, Tyler Shangaris, with our FBI contact and get me his home address? Thank you. And to cancel tomorrow's podcast, I'm going to go over and take it. Speaking of pools, I'm going to take a fat dump in his pool. Okay. And Dennis has a great question. Who are your dark horse picks?
For this event?
Yeah, for 1A and 1B.
What is that?
I mean, I guess my second pick would be, are we dark horse? Who are we calling a dark horse, Brian? I mean, I would say Gabby, but I don't know if that's a dark horse.
I think if you're looking for someone who's going to do well on this workout that might not do as well on any of the workouts to come for the women, it's Michaela Norman, which you have already mentioned. Yeah. And then just kind of a curious one that I'm not sure. Like, this is the type of workout I don't know how Andrea Nisler will fare on this workout. We haven't mentioned her at all, but we both think she has got potential to do pretty well when the weekend comes to an end. So if she can manage a top finish in this, then that really sets her up for a potentially good weekend because she's going to be pretty good on everything else. For the guys,
before you go to the guys, I want to say something about Andrea Nisler or ask you a question. Is Andrea Nisler the strong girl, but she trains with Froning, so you know she can run? Is that the Cliff Notes on her?
No, Andrea Nisler is
she's
just a beast.
She is at running.
I mean, but she's running and swimming her ass off if she's training with Rich, is what I'm saying. We already know she's strong, right? And she's going to do well. And so what I'm hearing you say, Brian, is that if she does well in the running events, stand back. She's got that out of the way, and now she's set free.
Yeah, but like John said, these events are a little bit more than just the running. Like running up the hill in the cold, the burn of your legs, the burn of your lungs. It's an unknown element. It doesn't just require a good runner.
Right.
So that's why I would say
Emma Carey is my dark horse on the first one.
See, I think these are going to be her two worst workouts.
That's the only first one.
Emma Carey's
of course. I'm trying to pick somebody who's not going to be good at it, right? That might be
Emma Carey's the girl, right? She's like the little girl. She's like the Mallory O'Brien cohort peer, right? Yeah. God, I hope she does great. I would be tickled pink if her and Ricky Garard came out of here just like everyone's like scratching their head. Be so stoked. We need that. The show needs that.
Sevan, I got maybe like 30 more minutes, so can we expedite?
Oh my God, I'm dealing with two Brians. You guys, how can you guys call me bullies? Do you see what I have to deal with? Okay, what do you want to go to?
Everybody, today Sevan was like, we can only do a podcast when John has to train. That's the only time.
I grabbed my ankles for these people. I sent them both nudes this morning to help them get out of bed because they're both clinically depressed.
It was the worst.
I sent them a picture of me naked and told them coming over to their house unless they get on the show. What do you want to move to? Event number 3, John?
Sure. Hold on. I have a question for Brian. Brian, on 1 and 2, do you think Roman and Ricky will come first and second on both of them?
No, I think that someone will manage to beat at least one of them on one of those workouts.
I think they're going to get first and second on both of them.
Oh, Tyler, right, I swear to God, I'm going to take a fattest deuce in your pool tomorrow. You think I'm joking? And Brian, sorry, I cut you off. You were going to say one more thing before we talked about Andrea Nisler. You were going to pick a dude dark horse. Was Andrea Nisler your girl dark horse?
Yeah. And then a guy that maybe you're not thinking about, Henrik Apalainen. Just the fact that he's from Finland, he's definitely grown up in the slopes and on the snow, and he's got a long body, and he's probably gonna be pretty good on the skis. So he could be one that we haven't talked about who might just happen to be comfortable running in cold air and snow.
All right.
For the guys, I'll say Luka Dukic. Everyone talks about Lazar. Nobody talks about Luka, and I think Luka's going to be great in these first two.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's the guy that might beat one of them on this workout.
Look, as soon as you mentioned the Jukic brothers, Brian's like, oh, yeah, I got to get behind my boys. Brian might be getting too soft for this job. He's got too many favorites. Okay, let's go to event number 3. Are we going to talk to them, Brian? You think we're going to get them?
I don't know.
Luka,
but if you think about it, tomorrow is, what is it, Thursday there, and they're going to be done competing by noon, and then they don't have to compete for over 24 hours. So you should be contacting them and reminding them of that.
Okay, I started bugging Lazar on WhatsApp. God, I don't like using WhatsApp. Okay, event number 3. Oh, no, it's event 2. Sorry, event 2, because the first one was 1A and 1B. The jerk off, clean and jerk, the lift off.
Okay, so this event they're only giving 2 lifts to each athlete, but I have been told that they will have. Okay, I actually don't know what Morning Chalk is reporting on this here. 2 lifts per athlete. athletes pick their weight. So those are the only weights they can choose from, I guess. And you have to.
And you just pick 2 of them. Mm-hmm.
Okay, but supposedly they're going to have a warm up bar or an extra barbell because it's quite a bit of time between lifts. And I can't see the rest of the screen now. They've covered it up with this comment. And
don't fire Brian. Listen, Heidi, I can't fire Brian because that other dude from YouTube will start watching the show. But I swear to God, the second that guy, I find out that guy's gone, firing Brian. Okay.
Anyway,
can someone translate this to kilos? What is Morning Chalk Up doing? Don't they have someone there who can do the math for us? That's kilos, right?
Yeah. So 190 is 418.
Okay.
Or no one's picking it. Look, you only have 2 lifts, so you have to.
That's the top weight.
Yeah. Two lifts. This means that basically it's bad news for people who like to see heavy weights lifted, because likely we're going to see a lot less weight lifted than we would in almost any other format. Because there's also a minimum work requirement at this competition, meaning what they've listed it as is that you have to complete 50% of the work in every workout in order to advance in the competition or cash in the prize pool or whatever the penalty is. So if you miss your first lift, that's a problem. And if you miss 2 lifts, I think that you're out. You might be out of the competition. So people have to do a safe lift their first attempt, and then it's going to be I don't know if you have to declare your lifts ahead of time, if you're able to watch what other athletes do, and then make a decision based on that. There's a lot of unknowns with this event that could have significant implications on both the results of this event specifically and the overall competition as a whole. Not just the results of it, but whether athletes advance or not off past event too.
Someone called me from this foreign number. Hold on one second. What? Say that again?
Yes, that's right.
No, sorry, wrong number. That was weird. Okay.
No. She was just clarifying. Yes, athletes only get 2 attempts.
I'm not liking this. I'm not rallying behind this. By the way, I pulled up a calculator. John told us 418 was the max lift for the men. 264.5547 is the max lift for the women. So let's say 265. Who came up with this idea? Do we like this? Is this weird? Do they get to change their lifts after they?
I think it's one of the worst ways to do a max lift.
And Brian can't say it because he's a consultant of theirs, and so he's on the dole.
Nope. I agree with John.
Oh.
I was skeptical of this when I first saw it and questioned it, and I'm surprised that they left it at just 2 lifts. I haven't asked him for any reasoning or clarification, but I think that it's a missed opportunity.
Don't we need to know some stuff here?
So
the order that they pick the weights. Do you know what the other people pick? Like, we need to know something. Yeah.
Because if there is an order and whoever's the last person to lift has a huge advantage, because everybody's going to be super safe on their first one. And then it's going to be kind of like, how much do I want to go for it? And I think they should have to declare their weights ahead of time and then lift what you've declared, because there's no other fair way to do it. And there's not really a leaderboard after just 2 running events. So you can't just say whoever's in first gets to lift last. But
what about this?
What about this? Brian, we don't know.
What about this comment? What about this comment? I mean, this is for La Femme Natel. And take this with a grain of salt because she looks like she's happy and positive about everything. But she's saying it's just super unconventional.
Or that she's tripping on something.
Yeah, she's on Molly or something. She's fine. You want to party with her for sure. Don't act like you don't. But it's just super unconventional. Is that why we don't like it? Are we open to liking it?
As always, you have to reserve a little bit of reservation until you see what happens on the competition floor. But I think there's a couple problems here. One is people want to see heavy weights lifted, and I don't know why you would reduce it from 3 to 2. 3 is pretty traditional. It gives you an opportunity to do a safe lift. It gives you an opportunity to feel out weights that are towards your upper range, knowing you've already hit a lift, and then possibly to go for something that you might not hit in a different circumstance. And we're probably going to lose that with only 2 lifts. Couple in the fact that if you don't lift at least once successfully, that you might not be able to cash in any money for the entire competition, or you might be disqualified from it. I don't know what the penalty is for not meeting the minimum work requirement, but usually it's pretty harsh.
It's Dubai. That's where the competition is.
Yes.
Yeah, well, if you don't make the minimum competition, they tie you out in the center of the square and whip you. Everyone knows that. Don't be silly, Brian. UAE rules. Here's the thing. What if they have every single bar set up out there? And the excitement is that contestant number 1 comes out and she picks her bar. And we don't know what it is until she picks it. And the roar of the crowd and things could be affecting her. And she doesn't even have to pick her second weight until she walks out there. And so they all sit around out there and get to strategize and look what everyone's lifting. And basically they rank them based on how people did in the previous event. You know what I mean? So if you took last in the previous event, you would go first on this and get to strategize the least. It could be good.
Sure. There's definitely ways that it could be dramatic. I think if you want to see the maximum expression of weight lifted by the athletes, this is not the format.
How will they at the games, they what's that called when they rank the athletes from the first event and then it keeps changing, so you go into different heats? Seating. Thank you. How will they seat these people? How do they do that in Dubai?
Don't know. I mean, presumably they'll do events 1 and 2 off-site, and then they'll have an order based on the points they've accumulated in those events. And for the next day of competition, they'll use that to seed the athletes. The problem is that because those 2 events are basically testing one modality, you're going to have people that are going to be in the top 10 and therefore in the better heat for the next day that are going to be, they don't belong in that heat for the stuff that's going to be happening in the tennis stadium.
Right. But if they do it, it pays to win. Theoretically, the people who do better at these first 2 events would do worse at event 2, right?
Yeah.
Endurance versus strength, which it
With
kind
the
of balances
exception,
it
with
out.
the exception of, maybe a guy like Roman.
Or Laura.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, or Laura. Yeah. For sure, Laura.
Yeah, crazy. Okay. Well, that's cool. And what time is that event?
The lifting event.
6:05 in the morning for them. So, or for us, 6:05 in the morning.
No.
Central.
Oh, see.
Oh, 4 a.m. Wow, you
So
were
it's
right,
4
Brian,
a.m.
the
for
first
Sevan.
time. Oh, that's tomorrow. That's
Friday.
Well, Thursday
God.
for us, right?
No.
No,
That
no.
gets pushed. We got to figure this out. I can't accidentally get up at 4 a.m. and it not be on. We got to figure this out. Scroll down a little bit, Souza. Let me see what's at the top of this, because Brian did say there's a 24-hour wait. Oh, morning
It
chalk
said,
up.
hold on. Go up, Matt.
Yeah,
right there. Stop. So underneath Friday, above event 2, what does that say? It's too small for me to see.
Friday, 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So, okay. And then it's 4 p.m.
There.
Yeah, same day. Okay. So, and Brian, you said that at the beginning of the show that basically that they get a 24-hour break. So the first event is on Wednesday. It's today. Well,
It's Thursday morning for them.
Right. Okay.
So they're working out Thursday morning, Friday evening, Saturday evening.
So they have
in the
a
U.S.,
huge
that's
break
going to
then.
in the U.S. how that's going to correlate is Wednesday night, Friday morning, Saturday morning.
Okay. Good. 4 a.m. Okay. And these are the only 3 events we know right now?
No.
Oh, let's move on.
We know 3 more events.
God forbid we lose John Young. Let's go on. Really? Okay, let's keep going. Event 3. Some sort of chipper? Oh.
Yeah, it's a down and back chipper. The A jump is something that they do in Dubai. They have done in Dubai before. Sandbag cleans. That's a lot of sandbag cleans at that weight, I think. So it's actually going to be a little bit more of a factor than I'd originally thought when I wasn't sure what the weights were. And then, there's 50 gymnastics reps in the middle of this workout. For most of the athletes, the bar and muscle ups are going to be, not a formality. You'll have to have some strategy there, but they can do 40 bar muscle ups in this setting. The 10 parallel handstand push-ups is a huge X factor in this workout, and we don't have the answer to what kind of standard this is going to be. I don't know the depth of the parallettes, and I don't know if they're going to be strict or kipping. But keeping in mind the fact that there's going to be a minimum work requirement imposed, if you can't finish at least 5 of those, then you're up. You're probably going to be in the square getting whipped later that afternoon.
Go back to me on the parallel handstand push-ups. If you had to guess, what is it? What
I think
is
they'll
the
be
standard
kidding.
going to be?
I hope that they're kipping because the risk that you run if they're strict is that you lose Laura Horvath from the competition. Not to mention
But
probably two
I
or three
think
other
if they
women.
were strict parallel handstand push-ups, you would lose half of the women's field
Wow.
Depending on the
because
deficit.
those are, yeah.
A jump. I can't remember if you jump from the middle of 2 blocks onto 1 block or if you jump from out, like straddling 1 block onto the block. Like you have to bring your legs together and down, or if you have to bring your legs wide and back in. But either way, there's going to be something on the floor, and you either have to jump onto it and then back down while wearing a weight vest. Now, it's only listed for that movement, so I'm assuming that
Don't you have to do
after
a
you
squat?
row, maybe.
You do a squat and then you jump onto 1 block, and then you jump off, do a squat, jump back onto it.
Susan, can you Google that A jump? Oh, you are. Okay, you are. There's got to be.
Look up, Susan, the DFC original workout from 2019. They did it in there.
I'm almost 100% positive that's what it is.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's a squat and then jump up onto 1 block, I think.
So it's not a jumping jack without the clap? I mean, that's what it sounded like you guys were saying in the beginning. There's some great sexual innuendo about the A jump. Let me see this thing.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Wow.
But honestly, it was way harder when they did it. They had 2 dumbbells, and they were both 50 for men and 35 for the women. And they just have a weight vest here. I don't think they'll be very hard with a weight vest at all. The whole workout is basically 20 bar muscle ups, 10 handstand push-ups, 20 bar muscle ups. So if you're able to do the handstand push-ups, it's whoever is the best at bar muscle ups will win this workout.
You agree, Brian?
Yeah, I think that there's the potential for more time to be made up or lost on the gymnastics than the other stuff for the people who are contending to win this workout.
That sandbag clean, that's that stuff I see at street parking a lot, right? I see Miranda doing that. You have the bag. It's kind of like when you see someone clean like a girl, like they pick them off the ground like a log and they flip it up like this. Is that what that is?
Depends on the type of bag that they're using. It could be a bag like that, a long bag with handles on it, but probably not. Usually what we see is that you either have to clean a more circular or oval shaped bag onto your shoulder and then back down, or over your shoulder. If it's over your shoulder, then it's very easy to judge because you just have to throw it over your shoulder, turn around, pick it up, and do it again. If it's to the shoulder, there's a little bit more of a gray area in terms of standard, but then you can cycle reps. You can like hold on to it and go back down, which is a little bit, could potentially be a little bit more exciting, giving the athletes the opportunity to cycle reps.
Isn't that called shouldering? If you don't,
sure.
I mean, that's what I always hear it called, like in the strongman, shouldering, as opposed to calling it a clean.
And that will take a long time to do. 60 sandbag cleans. That will take a long time, but I don't think people will gain major time on that implement, and they could on gymnastics, in the middle gymnastics.
I don't know what I think about the A jump. I need to ask Dave about that. What do you guys think?
I mean, it's just like another.
Like, this is one of those things
air
that
squats.
Do you train them? You guys?
No, I don't.
No, but I train squats, weighted squats, and squat jumps.
Okay.
I think it's
anyway.
just filler to make your legs burn a little bit.
Yeah, and also, and you have to keep in mind that Dubai has always been true to who they are, and this is a movement that they were programming before any of us were watching the Dubai CrossFit Championships in the 2012 to 15 time period, and that these would pop up along with a couple other things. And that workout, that DFC original workout that he just pulled footage from, was filled with, that was from 2 years ago, was filled with movements that were throwbacks to old school Dubai CrossFit Championship movements that we never have seen in the CrossFit Games, Regionals, Open, etc. And that's, so that's just one of the things that they do. They like to have a little bit of homage to the past.
Gotcha.
I'm surprised they don't have more of them, because other than the reverse grip butterfly pull-ups, I liked that event a whole bunch. The one in 2019.
All right, who wins this? Who wins this on the men? Who wins this on the women?
I'm calling Sarah on this one.
Wow. I love it. I love it.
Bit of a hard pick, but that's what I'm rolling with.
Yeah, I think Sarah's a good pick to compete for this one. I think Kristen Holta will do well here, and Jacqueline Dahlstrom is a bit of a body weight ninja. So if she can manage the sandbag pretty well, she'll probably make up ground on most of the field, if not all the field, in the middle portion, the gymnastics portion. And we talked about how significant that could be. So those are the three I would look at for the women.
I think Briggsy will do really well on this as well.
Briggsy.
Sam Briggs. Sorry.
That's probably what they call her in England.
But why?
Amanda
But
Briggs.
isn't the parallel handstand push-up going to be a mess for Sam too? Doesn't she have issues there or no?
I mean, well, that movement is a wild card. We don't know the standards of that movement. The deeper it gets, and if it's strict, suddenly that goes from being something that's maybe not that relevant to the crux of the workout.
Does Carrie Pierce win this if she's here?
Probably
No.
No. What's she
I
gonna
say
be?
no. It's only 10.
Against this field?
Yeah, I don't think she'd beat Sarah.
Okay.
Dude, Sarah win
I
this
think-
event is as likely as you making it on the show today. Miracles do happen, but you're crazy, dude. She's untested. Sarah.
Okay, a fully healthy Sarah. I don't think Carrie Pierce beats her in this workout.
All right. I mean, I love it. You're picking Sarah. I want Sarah to win.
If there was more handstand push-ups, I would pick Carrie, but there's only 10.
All right.
That's not even if she makes up ground. It's not a
But
ton
the
of
fact
ground.
that there are only 10 is what makes me think that they're going to be very difficult.
Yeah.
You know who's really good at handstand push-ups? Sarah freaking Sigmundsdottir.
Good. Yeah. Okay, so you all three, you have Sarah, Jack. Who did you have, Brian? Tell me yours again. I want to write them down here.
Kristen Holta, Sarah Sigmundsdottir, Jacqueline Dahlstrom are the three that I think will do well here.
Man, I love it that you guys believe Sarah's coming back so strong. After interviewing her, maybe I just misread it, or maybe she's just letting herself off the hook. I just felt like she's just taking the car out for a little ride, that she's not coming here to win any events. And who are your three picks, John?
For the women, I think Sarah, and then I think Holty and Sam Briggs.
All right. And the men?
I agree with Brian. I think Jacqueline will be very good at this as well, but he already picked her, so I'm going to roll with Briggs and Sarah and Holty.
And what about the dudes?
I think this could be anybody.
Guys, who I think that I'm just going to say it now. I think that events 2 through 5,
Roman's going to win them all.
that Tola Moraquinho is going to do very well. He's one of my picks for this event, along with Roman and Lazar.
We have someone speaking up from Iceland. They know their shit when you got Doder in your last name. Explosive movements for Sarah's new knee. I don't know if it's a good mix. Hey, don't forget, Iris, especially right after those hill runs too. And it depends on how her knee reacts too. Even if she feels okay, but that thing starts filling with fluid, she's gonna be hesitant. I'm gonna say something horrible.
A heavy lift right before this.
I'm gonna say something horrible. I'm gonna say she doesn't make it through the event. I'm gonna say through the weekend. I'm gonna say she does a couple events. She realizes it's not worth injuring herself, and she pulls out, and she's okay with it.
Okay. I think everyone's hoping you're wrong.
Me too. I hope I'm wrong too. 30 Helga daughter on this event. There was a couple of those in a row.
I'm gonna roll with Roman. I think Roman win this one. I think Tola and Bronislaw Olenkowicz will do some. I think they could do really good at this one. I just don't know how cardio it will feel.
There you go.
No comments.
Okay, let's go to event number 4. Wait, Brian, who did you pick for event 3 then for the men? Did you pick one?
I picked Roman, Tola, and Lazar.
Okay.
Did you want to talk about the clean and jerk at all for who we think will win that?
We didn't do that? Yeah, let's do that. Sorry. Let's go back to event 2. Thank you.
Because I think this will be a really exciting battle between the men. Bronislaw Olenkowicz, Tola Moraquinho, and Jeff Adler are all amazing. This would used to be a Tola event, like no question. but I'm pretty sure all he's been doing for a whole year is just running. So I think his strength might come down enough for somebody to upset him. So between those three, I'm going to pick Jeff. I have no idea who Brian would pick. He'll probably still take Tola.
I'll take Braun.
You can take Bronislaw?
Yeah,
And
he'll
for the
want to win.
women-
He'll want to win something.
For the women, it'll be between Horvath and Andrea Nisler.
But the reason I'm really picking Bronislaw is because I think he'll make the riskiest choice with his second lift.
I agree with you, but it depends how it is. Because if Jeff can see what he does, I think if he knows he has it, he'll do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I agree with you, though.
What's the heaviest lift going to be?
Scroll down to the men's options.
I'm pretty sure Laura has done 260. And the last weight for the women is 265. But
I think for the men, of the choices available, the winning lift will be either 165, 170, 165 or 170. I just don't think
165 is 363.
I just don't think anyone's going to go heavier than that in only 2 attempts.
Yeah, no, I'll say 170.
And then for the women,
115.
I think 115 also because, well, first of all, that should say 112.5, not 102.5 on the left of it.
Wow.
So,
it's the 2 attempts. The 2 attempts limits the top number so much.
And I think Laura Horvath she's a little bit clear of the field in terms of top end strength here. So she won't have to go as heavy to win.
You don't think Nisler will be just as strong?
She's the only one that maybe, but no, ultimately, no, I don't think.
Okay. Because I know Laura is amazing on clean and jerk, but I know Andrea can squat probably more than her. Andrea's squat strength is amazing. I don't know how she is on Olympic lifts, though, at all.
Hey, someone's saying that Tola for 190. Can he do one? Has anyone? Can he do? No. Okay.
Not anymore.
But but we do know how good Andrea is. You know, she's got a 114 listed max that we know of, at least for a clean and jerk. So she is the one person that could potentially upset Laura on this workout.
Nisler.
I think Gabby will also be strong. I don't think she'll beat Laura, but I think she will be up there.
How much money Will's got a good question. How much money do they make per event if they win?
Trying to find that out. I don't know for sure.
Okay. All righty. What event were we on before John took control for the second time during the show? Event 4? Event 3?
We finished 3, moving on to 4.
Event 4. Have they announced all of them now?
No.
Okay, good. Because we need more shows.
The last day is unannounced.
Okay. Let's see. Event 2, the liftoff. Event 3 was the chipper. Can we see event 4, Souza? Did your mouse break? Look, Souza's frozen.
Well, his computer probably died.
Oh, yeah, look, I tried to bring him in. I can't. Oh, look, I can't even bring Souza in. Look at him. He's gone.
Okay, well, we can talk about
Brian,
event 4.
Say what event 4 is.
Yeah, so event 4 is an elimination style workout. In the first round, obviously everyone will be there, and then they're going to cut that field down round by 4 athletes. So it'll be 20, 16, 12, 8, 4. And in each round, there's a buy-in of 20 calories on the Concept 2 bike erg. Then you have to do a 15 meters unbroken handstand walk, presumably across the tennis stadium. And then you have to do 10 overhead squats with a 185, 135-pound barbell. And there's a 3-minute cap in this workout. So there's a couple interesting things at play. First of all, they have that minimum work requirement. And here's another workout where there's something that could potentially happen and really upset the competition as a whole. Because you only have 3 minutes. Now, what does it mean to do half of this workout? I would say that to do half of this workout, you have to finish the handstand walk. Because you can't finish half the handstand walk. And, I don't know what their rule will be, but let's just imagine a scenario where it takes you a minute to do 20 calories. You kick up on your hands and you walk across and you're within a couple steps and you just have a lapse in concentration or you just fail the handstand walk for some reason. It's a very similar distance to what they required as an unbroken segment at the games in second cut 2019. And we saw this happen to athletes in both the men's and women's field over and over again, where they'd come within a couple steps, miss it, fall down for whatever reason, and have to go back. But you're talking about a tight time cap of 3 minutes. And if you miss that once and now your shoulders are fatigued and you're up against the clock and you're feeling the anxiety of not just not making the handstand walk, but potentially being, I don't know, disqualified from the event or unable to cash in any prize money, it's kind of risky. It's kind of a risky situation. Now, all the athletes should be able to do this, but in the competition,
When you say do this, you mean in 3 minutes?
They should all be able to do the handstand walk. Because really what I'm talking about right here is this rule of minimum work requirement going to eliminate any athletes from the competition?
Will you hold on one second, Brian?
I don't think it'll be an issue.
John, hold on one second. I want to go back and just throw this out there. We could just Nistler did 255 clean and jerk in training a week ago. That is 9 pounds away from the heaviest bar. Just on a side note. So I just want to review one thing before we go. You said every round they're going to remove 4 people. They're going to start at 20 and they're going to go down obviously to the winner in the last 2 to 4. It's 20 calories on the ski erg, a 15 meter.
Not echo bike. 20 calories on a bike erg.
Bike erg, okay. And then 15 meter handstand walk. And then how many overhead squats?
10. The handstand walk must be unbroken.
Must be unbroken.
That's around 50 feet.
You know, outside of what you guys are talking about, how it's going to play out, it would be really beautiful if they could do this all in one heat, let all 20 go, and basically we see then in real time we'll know which 4 didn't make it, right? It'd be the 4 that finished last or the last, and then you get a 1 minute rest, and then you start heading back the other way. I mean, it could be a real, or you walk back to the same. It could be beautiful. You think they would do something like that? Can they run 20 lanes or no?
Not if they also need 50 feet of space, and they're not. Okay. They'll have one, like everything will move in one direction on the competition floor. So no, they'll just have 10 will be the maximum number of athletes per heat for this.
Okay.
And I think potentially this will be the most fun event to watch.
Me too. Sounds good. And
I don't.
Go ahead.
I don't think anybody will have trouble with the handstand walk, Brian. It's only 50 feet, 20
They
cows.
shouldn't. Look, they definitely shouldn't. But you wouldn't have thought that at the games for some of the athletes who struggle with it too in 2019. And sometimes it just happens in competition.
64 kettlebell push press. There's a huge difference. You're not using your arms at all on an assault bike or an echo bike.
Okay.
I just don't think so. I think it'll be fine.
I agree with you. It shouldn't be an issue. But what I'm saying is when you implement a rule that there's a minimum work requirement in a field that's already stripped down because of COVID restrictions, travel restrictions, people not wanting to compete multiple times in the off season and all these other things, if you lose one of the big names early in the competition, that's not like, why would you even create a possibility of that?
Yeah, no, that's a fair point.
And now we've had 3 events in a row where, depending on the details and the way that they work out, that there's a risk of that happening because of choices that the competition directors have made.
I don't want to bag on the games, but this could be a really good question. Open up an interesting conversation. Do they have a demo team here?
Yeah, I mean, they have people testing these workouts ahead of time, and they have people who are specifically there to demo the workouts in the athlete briefings.
Because Brian brings up a really good point. If they had some sort of, I don't want to call it a debacle, but a debacle like they had at the games where they were changing the distance of the clean ladder sprint event, it could be devastating for the whole event. If something really weird like that, if what Brian's implying did happen. And you're right. Why would you even leave the can of matches next to the can of gasoline? Like it's not even important. Oh, what? Really? Wait, whoa. Are you drinking Gatorade, John?
I am.
Oh God, Dennis, I think he's a dipshit for it. There, I answered it. Let me see. Here it is. Sevan, how do you feel about John drinking Gatorade? I feel horrible that I have to call him a dipshit on the air. Okay, go on. And that means none of his calls are going to come in place because his brain is floating in sugar and it's impairing his judgment and giving him brain fog.
Who do you think will do well in this event, Brian?
I think we got two different things happening here for the men and the women. I think for the women, the people who do well on this event are also going to end up being the ones near the podium or on the podium at the end of the competition. I think that if assuming Sarah's healthy enough, I think she'll do well here. Laura Horvath should do really well. Gabby, Andrea Nisler, maybe Emma Carey, but those types of people. And then, but for the men, I think that this is another one where some guys could. Okay, that's what I thought, Tristan. I just haven't gotten a confirmation of that yet.
Is Tristan a girl's name? Is that her boyfriend or is that dude? Is Tristan a dude's name? My neighbor's name is Tristan. It's a chick.
I have trained with a guy occasionally, and his name is Tristan. So
either Tristan's either banging that dude or that is Tristan.
Right.
In the photo.
Anyway,
I think
for the guys.
Bronislaw could do good at this one.
Yes. So this is a workout where guys like Tola, Braun could do really well. I also have been given the insights from some people in Europe that Simone Montilla might do really well on this workout. But I still think guys like Roman and Ricky will be just fine here. So it might be a combination of like the guys competing for the overall spot with a couple of guys who happen to just be pretty strong and good on their hands. Like the bike is irrelevant.
Tola's the fastest handstand walker as far as who can do 50 feet the fastest. I don't know if that.
And he's got the heavy, and he's one of the heaviest snatchers, and his overhead squat's going to be strong. So,
that won't be an issue. That shouldn't be an issue for any of them. It's 185, correct?
Well, for one round, no. But if you end up advancing, you have to do it 5 times.
No, Brian.
John, you're shaking your head, man. 250 feet of handstand walking and 50 overhead squats at 185 is not something to shake your head at.
I'm only saying the overhead squats will not be an issue for any of them.
And I'm saying
the handstand walk and how fast you do 20 cals, 100%. And I think Roman has a shot because they have to repeat those 20 cals one time. Tola or Braun might be able to be right there with them, but 5 times, it's kind of who recovers the fastest. And I think that'll be Roman. I think Ricky could have a shot just because of that fact too. But I don't think the overhead squats will be an issue for anybody. I do think Bronislaw and Tola can get into that position a lot quicker though. Like just grab it and go.
Heidi says John's fired, but she just wants Brian's picture to be bigger.
Yeah,
Heidi's got only 2 of us. She knows if there's only 2 of us, Brian's picture will be bigger. That's all. She's biased. And then this guy Tristan's flexing, saying he competed at McDonald's. Okay. So do we?
That's true, by the way. He did compete there.
Thank you, Brian. You good? Who do you guys have? Pick your winners for this one for the men and women. First of all, do we have event 5? I'm feeling crushed for time a little bit. Okay, so pick your winners one more time for this one, guys. For event number 4, this is the elimination event with the bike, 15-meter handstand walk, and overhead squats.
I feel like we're gonna have the same picks. So you want to go first for the women?
Go ahead.
I'm going to go with Laura for the women.
Me too.
And then for the men, I'm going to go with Ricky.
Okay,
I think this will be a surprising. I think this will be a surprising event. I don't think Ricky will win an event except this one. And I think it'll be shocking.
Okay, I'll take Tola to win this one, and I will also predict that at least 5 guys drop the 185 barbell at some point in the workout.
And you know what? This is one of the. This is the closest
5 of the
one.
top 10. You can't do the bottom 10 no-name people that I could be in some of these workouts. Okay,
that's not true. Just 60 times that they'll have to do the overhead squats, and I think it hits the ground at least 5
of the top 10 people.
I want to say this about this event. This is the athletic event that I'm talking. I think Ricky's going to do well in this too. I think he's going to do well in the transitions. I think I think he's going to shine here also. And I think he's going to do great on the handstand
at doing
walk.
Overhead squats fast. I just think of Naughty Nancy. I think of that workout and compare for the overhead squats. You're very tired the whole time, except it's not as long. And Ricky did very well at Naughty Nancy. If people remember that workout. But again, I think this is a combination of cardio guys' recovery abilities versus strongman guys' overhead squat ability. I think this will be a really, really fun race the whole entire time. I'm excited to see this one. I'm going to go with Ricky, and then Roman will do well too. But I also think Tola and Braun will do really good in this one also.
What does this mean from Taylor Self? Get him back on his cardio cycle. Is that just a dig at Ricky when he says, is that what he's doing?
I don't know who he's talking about.
Do you know who Taylor Self is? I think he competed.
I know who Taylor Self is.
I know who Taylor Self is.
He competed at the MAC too, right? No, did he?
Granite Games.
Granite Games. He got folded in half at the ranch. Do you remember that story?
Yeah.
We remember.
Oh my goodness. Okay, event number 5. Let's go to event number 5.
So event 5 was the first event that they announced, and it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 ring muscle ups and thrusters, 135 pounds for the men, 85 pounds for the women. Presumably, the barbell weight's a little lighter for the women than the men because the muscle ups are a lot harder for the women than the men, especially in the last 2 rounds.
Okay, say the workout one more time a little bit slower because I was looking to see if they had it on their Instagram when you said it.
They do have it on their Instagram. It was the first one announced. It was announced the day before all the others.
Oh, okay. Event number 3, event number 5. Got it. Okay, I'll see maybe if I can do Suze's job.
It's 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, right?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
2, 4, 6, 8. Okay.
There we go. Do we like this workout?
I do like this workout.
I think ascending makes it way harder, which is fine.
When they first, the fact that the reps are increasing instead of decreasing. If it was 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, you can be more aggressive with those opening sets of muscle ups. I'm expecting people will do the thrusters unbroken. I don't know if they'll have to advance the bar down the floor as they go or not, so the running distance between the 2 implements could increase each round. We'll have to see how they do the floor layout. But basically, it's about the last 2 rounds. You'll see pretty even through the first 3 rounds, and then there'll be a separation on the muscle ups in the last 2 rounds.
What is the minimum work requirement on this? Did you say?
Well, there's 60 total reps in the workout, so they got to get. I would assume they have to get to 30. I don't think that'll be an issue in this workout.
In 10 minutes.
In 10 minutes.
Will anyone do this unbroken?
Man. That is going to be a good question to find out. If there's someone who can do this workout unbroken, I think John's still here. I think it'd be impressive. I think that last set of muscle ups could be pretty tough.
Damn, I should have went to the bathroom when John was still here. Shelly Young, about time you pick Ricky, but the bike is a bigger guy thing. But 185 is light. Wow, is Shelly Young? Is that a man or a woman? That you're saying 185 is light? Is that true? 185 is not light. 185 is not even light for the best guys, is it?
Look, it's like I said to John, if one set of 10 overhead squats at 185 for these guys is routine. But if you're getting into rounds 3, 4, and 5 and you're racing on your hands and you're knowing that there's only a couple guys that are going to, the number of guys gets less and less every time, or women gets less and less every time. I think that those last couple of sets of overhead squats are going to be a little dicey. I mean, we saw guys missing the 205 snatch at the Rogue Invitational, and that was only sets of 3.
Yeah. So someone in the comments here is agreeing with you. John is crazy to think the overhead squats won't be a problem. Oh, look, there is John. He had his feelings hurt and left.
Yeah.
Shelly, thanks for the $20. You're awesome. Yeah, we can hear you. You're back in the game. We talked.
I'm saying for the top guys.
You heard us talking shit about you? Bye-bye. Okay. Brian, who do you think is going to win this event? This feels very games to me.
Yeah, definitely. Fantasy Fitnessing put out some on Instagram, put out some recent events, and like most of these athletes or a bunch of these athletes have done that are comparable. And looking at some of those, there's a couple names that might do better on this event that you wouldn't necessarily expect. Probably the biggest dark horse, if there was one in this one, is Yorgos Kervis. We haven't mentioned him at all yet. From Greece, he competed at the games this year. So if you're looking for an event for him to maybe have a top 3 finish, it might be this one. Otherwise, I think I think Tola's going to crush this. I think Lazar is going to do really well on this. Roman, Ricky. And then someone in Europe also told me that Moritz Fiebig, who's the IF3 world champion, by the way, should do really well on this workout.
This is an interesting point that really helps contextualize the weight too. Eric Weiss says 185 was the barbell that they lunged in the last event in the games. And why that's important is because we got to see that barbell being held on their back, front squat, and overhead. Were those the three?
Yeah, front rack, back rack, front rack, overhead.
Yeah, so thank you, Eric, for saying that. And that does like help contextualize how heavy that is.
Yeah, but that was also event 15 of 15. You know, it was a beatdown of a weekend. So, you know, the context matters a little.
Yeah. And how are Laura's ring muscle ups? How's Laura Horvat do with ring muscle ups?
Fine. Really good for her size, especially.
So do you pick her as the winner for this?
For this one, to win it, I think she'll do well on it. I don't know about winning it. I think Sam Briggs can do really well here. Kristen Holt, yeah.
John, do you have picks for this for men and women?
Yeah, my internet's getting finicky, so if it shuts me off again, I'm out. Okay.
Okay. That's not your internet. I just keep removing you from the stream, by the way. Don't blame yourself.
Oh, okay. This is the thruster ring muscle up workout.
Yes.
I think this will be a battle between Roman and Ricky again. Who did Brian say?
He didn't. He just gave it for the men. He gave a whole smattering, and for the women, he leaned on Briggs and Kristen Holta.
Okay, I'm tempted to say Briggs, but I actually don't think she will do as good as in this workout. I don't know why I feel that way. I think Sarah will
she's
do
57
pretty good in this one.
because she's 57.
That might have something to do with it. I think Jacqueline Dahlstrom might do really well in this one. It depends if the thruster takes anything out of her, but it's lighter for women. So I think that'll be a name that we don't talk about much that might make some noise in this one. I think it'll be between Holty and Jacqueline Dahlstrom. That's what I'm going to say.
Okay. And the dude you had between Roman and
I think Laura will also do really, really well in this one. But I think the other two will ring muscle up a little bit faster.
How's Emma Carey doing this one?
I think like 6th to 10th.
I agree. What about, I think the ring muscle ups will be harder for her than they are some of the other women.
And what about Luca in this one, Lazar's brother?
Bottom. I think
it's a pretty lightweight for him, right? I mean, we could. This guy has the engine, right? This guy is a super engine.
Yeah, I think he can do well here. I just think
really well.
I think there are a lot of guys that can do well on this workout. So I think Luca is more going to be around 10th.
Okay. Man, I can't. This is actually
pretty well.
This is actually getting me really, really excited.
I think Lazar can win this workout, but
I do too.
But Luca, I just think he's a little bit behind some of these guys still.
And what about Sarah? You guys haven't mentioned Sarah's name in this workout.
John did. John said that she could do well here. Yeah, she definitely can. I mean, you know, if she's got the green light from her doctor to go, like she's a top 5 threat in almost every workout.
I like it when you say that. It makes me feel like this is a professional sport. She got the green light from her doctor.
That's what she said today. She even used that terminology or that what's it called? Whatever.
Vernacular.
Emoji.
Phrase,
yes, emoji.
phrase.
It's just not. I don't think of the word emoji because it was just a green circle. The green.
How come no one's mentioning Gabriella Magawa?
For what? To win these events?
Sure, yes.
Because I don't think she's going to win any events. I just think she's going to do really well on all of them.
Enough to win enough to podium.
Yes.
And John's gone again. I was going to say, John, what do you think? All right. Hey, is that all the events that they've released so far? The 5 events?
Yeah.
Thank God my bladder is going to pop. What didn't we cover? What didn't we cover, Brian, that you wanna touch on before we vanish until tomorrow? Or are we gonna come back tonight after the event?
No, because we don't know what's gonna we don't know what the coverage is gonna be like tonight.
Okay.
Like we may be able to see everything. We may be able to see nothing. We may have some stuff. I think that a better plan would be to reconvene tomorrow in the middle of the day, and we can talk about what happened on those two events and set up day 2 based on that.
Okay. So when tomorrow?
Let's just get together on and via text and talk about it with the other guys, because I have a very spotty, like in and out kind of day tomorrow. So there's limited time frames I can do it.
What did you think about Hobart? Is Hobart going to be popping in on any of these? What feel did you get from him from our texter? Is he coming in or what?
If I had to bet one way or the other, I'd bet on no. But I hope it's yes.
Yeah, me too. Let's see. Oh, someone text us. Oh, it's John. Sorry, my shit died. All right. My computer's
dropping
going
like flies. Souza died.
Yeah.
John died.
All right. Thank you very much, Brian. I know the show went 36 minutes longer than I told you it would. I appreciate your time. I'm excited for tomorrow. Thanks for getting everyone pumped about this.
Sevan, it's okay that it went long. I mean, they almost always go short, so this one's okay to go a little long.
And from the bottom of my heart and Heidi's heart, we will see you tomorrow, Brian.